PowerPoint that was in the CSCOPE, which you probably heard about, and it calls all of the Almighty God. My question to you is, how do we confront things like at a school Monday night in Anderson and Smithfield ISD? The library is hosting a Islam journeys or Muslim journeys at the local high school to go over a book, The Country of Men, that the school children are reading. And I mean, I have a problem with that. I don't like the desensitizing of the students as far as the Islam faith. And I mean, I can go at it from the radical standpoint, I can approach those, but I don't know how to approach it from the standpoint of, well, they need to know about Islam. You know, I just don't know how to, you know what I'm asking you?
I think so. Look, they do need to know about Islam.
Yeah, but I want the truth.
But you don't want your kids being force-fed what is basically the Islamist propaganda line.
Right.
Let me give you one example, and I'm mindful that we're up against the stops here, but this is really important for you to understand. I had a meeting here with a very prominent Texan in Dallas. And he had a little informal family get together, and there were a couple of kids there, college-age kids. And we went through this kind of drill with them. And he asked one of them, a very smart young man, going to Kenyon College, about it, and he basically started parroting the line that there's lots of different kinds of Sharia, and it's really up to you, and it's consistent with the Constitution. And so on. It was so transparent that what he had been educated about was this propaganda taqiyya stuff. And I asked him if he had had a course in comparison. What you used in that course, at least the part on Islam, entitled The Quran, the early verses. And he said it was. Well, again, without getting into too much gory detail here, as I've said to you, there's this nonviolent or pre-violent business, and then there's the violent business, and that trajectory is actually one that follows the path of Muhammad's life. He's the perfect Muslim, as you may know. In Mecca, in the earliest days, he was poor, he was powerless, and he was getting revelations that said, be nice to the folks, people of the boat most especially. He was thrown out ultimately because he was a troublemaker. He got to Medina where he married a rich widow. And suddenly things changed. He became powerful. He became rich. He became a great warrior. And the revelations were killing the people of the book. Which gave rise to, by the way, a problem for followers. Which is it? Which gives rise to something in Sharia called abrogation, whereby what came last replaced what came first. So the early passages of the Quran are all very interesting, but they've been replaced by what came after. So it is completely disinforming and propagandizing our kids. And what worries me most, what brought Alice and me together in the first instance, was if we make it even more efficient for a government that has been as badly penetrated as I've suggested to you ours is, to indoctrinate our teachers, administrators, and kids with the Muslim Brotherhood taqiyya, we are really in deep trouble. So I would say to you, in terms of what you say at the next meeting of your school board or what have you, well, take them to school.
Yeah.
Ask them if they're teaching this. I mean, anybody can read this. And the beauty of it is, it's not what Frank Gaffney's telling you. Or any, FBI or CIA director. It's what the Muslim Brotherhood was saying for their own consumption. This wasn't meant for us, folks. As I told you, we providentially found this in a secret sub-basement in Annandale, Virginia, because of a traffic stop, for crying out loud. And amazingly, it was introduced into evidence in the Holy Land Foundation trial. But this is the authentic document. Give it to them. Make them read it. And then let's talk. about whether these are folks who are simply practicing their faith in a peaceful way. Many are, I want to emphasize this to you, many Muslims are. It's just those guys think they're apostates and they are entitled to kill them. And the ones that aren't are following this program and they're wrong. Do I still have time?
Yes.
Well, Mr. Brotherhood, why demanding equal time for Jesus?
Is that, yes ma'am.
What was the name of that booklet?
It's called the Explanatory Memorandum
And is
on
it
the
like-
general strategic goal of the group in North America. The Explanatory Memorandum is the easy way to find it. If you Google it, you'll find it there. It is available now. We published it as both the appendix to that larger book. And then somebody pointed out, if you want anybody to read that, don't put it in a big thick book because they won't. Break it, especially politicians, break it out in a little monograph, and so that's what we've done. But you can find